Hey, Colabcoaching here yet again to share some wise words of wisdom for the week. Week number 3 of the friendship series. Week 3 usually means we going deeper than week 2 or week 1, but we're gonna try to bring it home in week 4. But we'll get to that next week. But without any further delay, the question slash thought I have for you this week is: are your current friendships worth having? Are your current friendships worth having? Now, the reason why I ask this question is because we have a set of friends that we consider close. We have a set of people that we consider special. But we have to take the time, not to say every day or every week, but take the time to evaluate and reevaluate if those friendships are serving a purpose. Now, of course, you may be really enjoying that person's company. You may go out and have fun. You may have great conversations. But really think about it. Are they really serving a purpose in your life? Just like any relationship, a friendship should be basically based on you. What you allow in your life, what you feel like is okay, what you feel like is best for you, and what is best for the stage of your life that you are currently living. Now, as I talked about last week in week 1, sometimes friendships serve a purpose. Sometimes friendships have an expiration date. Sometimes we think that, a friendship is going to last forever. We think that a certain situation is going to be beautiful all the time. Perfect example, like maybe you were friends with certain people in high school. Maybe you were friends with them in college. Maybe you became friends on a whim and you guys became really close. But then you see and feel that, it's no longer serving a purpose. Maybe that person is going a direction that you're not really happy with, or maybe you're going in a direction that you feel like they cannot, comprehend or understand. That is why it's important for you to reevaluate who you consider a friend. Because sometimes we think that because we were friends with someone in the past, that we will always be friends with them. That whenever you meet, it's going to be the same energy, the same vibe, the same experience, and that's it. But in reality, that's not always the case. Sometimes we think that a friendship is strong, but then really the other person may be thinking it's kind of flat. Or you may think that the friendship is being flat, but you never have that conversation. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be the person that steps out and says, hey, we need to sit down and reevaluate our friendship. Sometimes you don't have that opportunity. Sometimes it's awkward. Sometimes you may think that, it may be not the right setting. Maybe you need to do it by yourself, and that's okay. Maybe you need to sit down by yourself and think about the pros and cons, maybe weighing the situations, maybe asking yourself questions, maybe thinking to yourself, well, what is this friendship serving? How is it serving? What is it moving to? Is it going to a level of growth and a level of grace and a level of happiness, or is it just stagnant? And the level of energy that you had before with that friendship starts to die out. For example, let's break it down. Maybe you guys used to talk on the phone every day, and you're not really talking on the phone every day, and that's okay. Maybe life got in the way, and you have different things going on. Maybe you got married, maybe you had kids, whatever it may be. That's okay. But the connection, it just started to get flat. It started to die out to the point where you're not even talking anymore. And it's been months. Would you really consider that person a friend? Would you really consider that person someone close to you? Yeah, they may have been close to you in the past, but are they close to you now? Is it the same type of friendship that you were longing for? Let's put it this way. Let's ask this question. Can you call this person in a dire situation? My wife always asks me that. She always says, like, the friends that she has, if she can't call them in a dire situation and it's life or death, or it's a situation that is very, very important, and they don't answer, or maybe they don't really recognize it, can you really see them being friends? Just vice versa. If someone calls you and they expect you to answer, or maybe you're busy but you make sure you call them right away, but then you see their phone call and you ignore it, or you see their phone call and you may have missed it generally, but then you didn't call them back. Now, these are the things that you have to think about. Are you really moving in the direction of a stronger bond, that quality of friendship that you need for you to be the best person you could be? Or do you have a lot of people that are stagnant around you? Yeah, you were friends at one point. Yeah, you were close at one point. But what about now? What about now? What about now do you see value in them? What about now do you see that the value in them is important to you? What about now do you see them as someone special at the moment? Not to say that they weren't special before, not to say that they didn't serve a purpose. That's fine. But what about now? Sometimes we live in a mindset that once that person had a purpose, they will always have the same purpose. That's not necessarily true. That's okay, as I said before. But it's okay to take a step back, and say, hey, maybe this isn't really a friendship. Maybe this is just an acquaintance. Maybe this person is just an associate. Maybe this person is just a colleague. And what I mean by colleague, associate, acquaintance are people that you're cordial with when you see them. You may have the great energy when you meet them. Like, hey, how's it going? How's everything? Small talk. But that's it. You guys don't really connect after that. You guys don't really go hang out or make plans. You don't go on the group trips. You don't do all of that. And they are just someone that you see in passing. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have to realize who we associate the friendship label, and not to say it has to be a label, but the friendship bond going forward. Because you don't want to waste your time thinking this person's a friend and you being hurt or you being misled or you feel like, I thought you were my friend, but really you really weren't. Sometimes we lose sight on that and it hurts us because we think that this person was something and they are now. They are not. What was. What is now is now. Now, I'm not saying that you can't rekindle a friendship. You can't bring back a friendship. You can't spark up the friendship. You can't say, hey, I was thinking that we're not as close as we used to be. We're not as special as we used to be. What happened? How can we make it better? And if that person is willing to actually make the effort to make it better, then that's awesome. And that way you can bring back the friendship to where it was. Even transform it to something better. But if you feel that you ask that person that question and they really give you the same energy, maybe they have their own friends now. Maybe you have your own friends now and you guys are moving in different directions. Let it be. Let it be. And it's okay. Sometimes we have to let situations and relationships go because they were only there for a season. Understand that. So if you're looking at me and you're asking yourself, are your current friendships worth having? Think about this. You may have been a friend to someone in the past and the energy may have been great, but now you guys are both moving in two different directions. Maybe the same type of energy that you had is no longer there. It's time to reevaluate who you consider a friend or who you consider an acquaintance. An acquaintance is someone that you give great energy in person. You guys catch up, small talk, but that's it. It goes nowhere else. A friend is that you are planning things with them. You're planning to have conversations. You can call them in a time of need, and they can call you in a time of need. Make sure you are realizing the worth of what you call a friendship, or you need to start to associate something as a colleague, an associate, and an acquaintance. Simple as that. So, if you're struggling with this and you're trying to figure out how to evaluate your current friendships, message me. Follow me on Facebook, Colabcoaching, Instagram, Colabcoaching, on my series and on my videos, or on YouTube, COLAB Coaching. Go to my website, yourcolabcoach.com. If you're ready for a 15-minute free session to talk about friendships or anything, I'm here to help. Also, fill out that relationship checklist to see and narrow down what you feel like you need more help in. I'm also part of a wonderful podcast with Heart and Soul Podcast. We got 2 seasons out right now with Heart and Soul Podcast on all podcast stations. Listen to the 2 seasons. Let us know what you think. And also follow us on Instagram with Heart and Soul Podcast. With that being said, thank you so much for listening and watching. Share this with anyone that's struggling to evaluate who their true friends are and who their real friends are. I think it's going to help them. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Be safe out there.